In almost every spiritual teaching around the world, we find this figure, whatever form it takes, of the one who destroys the demons. The best known version to me is from the Indian teachings, the goddess Kali. Here in the West, the most common version is the Archangel Michael, who with his sword destroys the demons. The clearest picture of that one is actually Kali. Although in the Greek mythology we have something quite similar with the Hydra. And here what happens is that when you fight demons, as soon as you cut one head off, another 3 or another 5 or another 7, depending on what flavour your mythology has, appear out of the wound. So you're always on a losing streak. And in the Hindu teachings, Kali has not only 6 arms and 6 swords to cut the demons' heads off, but also a very, very rapid tongue to take up every drop of blood. Because as soon as the blood reaches the earth, a new demon springs up. Now, this is, of course, a symbolic picture of something else. And this is a symbolic picture of destructive thoughts, self-destructive belief systems. And we are trained from baby onwards to always look for the negative aspect, always look to destroy. So, for example, somebody gives you a brown envelope and inside there's a reasonable amount of money. And your first reaction is, oh, I don't like the colour of that envelope. Which do you want? The envelope or the money inside it? Which is important to you? You see, this destructive thought, I don't like the colour, stands between you and what you really want. Well, that's just one example, just to try and make it clear to you. There are thousands of those that you do every day. This trained reflex, and the training is not unintentional, this trained reflex always to look for the negative, always to look for the destructive aspect. And with this habit, you actually create for yourself a life full of restrictions and disappointments, because you go into giving your energy into things which destroy you, which make you unhappy. So what we're going to do with these transmissions, and there are 2 of them, first one quite gentle and then the second one much more intense, is to use the Kali, Archangel Michael, or whatever. They're just different names for the same energy principle existent in the quantum fields. We're going to use that to intensify this energy in you, to purify your thoughts. That is, the meaningless ones, the destructive ones, the ones which cause you disappointments and heartaches. We'll just filter them out. They're no longer there. So, the first transmission starts now.